The Palestinian story is one of resilience, a testament to the strength of a people who have endured unimaginable hardships, yet continue to stand tall. It is a story of a people who have endured decades of dispossession, occupation, and displacement. Families torn apart, homes reduced to rubble, and generations forced to live in exile. This is the reality that has shaped the Palestinian experience. For over a century, Palestinians have faced systematic attempts to erase their history, culture, and very presence in their homeland. Yet, their traditions, music, and art continue to thrive, preserving a rich cultural heritage that refuses to be silenced. This injustice began in the early 20th century with the rise of Zionism, a movement advocating for a Jewish state in Palestine. The consequences were devastating as the land was divided, and the Palestinian people were left to bear the brunt of this geopolitical shift. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War resulted in the expulsion of over 700,000 Palestinians from their homes, creating a refugee crisis that continues to this day. Entire villages were depopulated, and the scars of this tragedy remain etched in the collective memory of the Palestinian people. This event, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe, marked the beginning of decades of displacement and dispossession. It is a wound that has yet to heal, as Palestinians continue to commemorate this dark chapter in their history. Generations of Palestinians have grown up in refugee camps, separated from their ancestral lands. These camps, often overcrowded and under-resourced, have become symbols of both suffering and survival. They have faced discrimination, restrictions on movement, and limited access to basic necessities like water and healthcare. The daily struggles of life under occupation are a stark reminder of the ongoing challenges they endure. The Palestinian story is not just one of suffering, however. It is a narrative of resilience, where communities come together to support one another and to fight for their rights. It is also a story of resistance, of unwavering hope, and of a steadfast commitment to justice. Through art, activism, and peaceful demonstrations, Palestinians continue to assert their identity and their right to exist in their homeland. Their story is far from over. It is a story of courage, determination, and an unyielding belief in a better future. Imagine a life where your every move is controlled, where the simple act of going to work or school becomes an ordeal. Checkpoints and walls don't just restrict freedom, they fragment communities, separating families and friends. This is the daily reality for millions of Palestinians living under Israeli occupation, a reality shaped by decades of conflict and control. Since the occupation began in 1967, a system of segregation and inequality has taken root, affecting every aspect of Palestinian life, from housing to education, from healthcare to basic human rights. In the West Bank and Gaza, Palestinians face severe restrictions on movement, often unable to access their own farmland or even essential services. Checkpoints, settlements, and the imposing separation barrier make it nearly impossible for many to work, study, or visit loved ones without enduring hours of delays and humiliation. The expansion of Israeli settlements, often built on confiscated Palestinian land, further deepens the crisis. These settlements, deemed illegal under international law, not only seize land but also drain vital resources like water, leaving Palestinians with even fewer means to sustain their livelihoods. The resulting tensions fuel unrest, making the dream of a peaceful two-state solution seem increasingly distant. The economic impact is devastating. Shops close, markets struggle, and unemployment soars, leaving many families in poverty. Access to healthcare is another casualty, with hospitals often overcrowded and medical supplies in short supply, especially in Gaza. Education, a cornerstone of hope for the future, is hindered by inadequate facilities and the constant challenge of crossing checkpoints just to attend school. The psychological toll of living under such conditions is immeasurable, as families struggle to find normalcy amidst the chaos. For children, growing up in this environment means facing a future clouded by uncertainty and fear. On university campuses across the globe, a powerful movement is taking shape. A new generation of activists is rising, fueled by a deep sense of justice and a commitment to change. Students are raising their voices, demanding justice for Palestine, and standing in solidarity with those who have been silenced for too long. They are challenging their institutions, calling for accountability and investments that perpetuate the occupation and injustice. At the forefront of this movement are student-led organizations like Students for Justice in Palestine, or SJP. These groups are not only organizing rallies and educational events, but also spearheading campaigns for divestment from companies complicit in the occupation, sending a clear message that complicity will not be tolerated. Through their efforts, they are challenging the status quo, shifting public opinion and sparking critical conversations about justice and human rights. These young activists are not just advocating for Palestinians, they are also standing up for broader social justice and human rights. They understand that the fight for Palestinian freedom is deeply connected to global struggles against oppression and inequality. Recognizing this interconnectedness, they are building coalitions with other social justice movements, uniting diverse voices for a common cause. These coalitions are fostering solidarity, amplifying marginalized voices, and creating a powerful network of changemakers. Their energy, passion, and determination are inspiring countless others to join the fight for justice. They offer a beacon of hope, lighting the way toward a future where justice and equality prevail. Their efforts are crucial in amplifying Palestinian voices, ensuring that their stories and struggles are heard worldwide. By bringing the issue to the forefront of global consciousness, these young leaders are paving the way for meaningful change and a more just world. For too long, the Palestinian narrative has been marginalized, their voices silenced or distorted. It is imperative that we listen to the stories of Palestinians themselves, stories of resilience, resistance, and the human cost of occupation. Palestinian artists, writers, and filmmakers are using their platforms to share their experiences and perspectives with the world. Their work offers invaluable insights into the realities of life under occupation, the complexities of the conflict, and the enduring hope for freedom and self-determination. By amplifying these voices, by sharing their stories, we challenge the dominant narrative and create space for a more nuanced understanding of the Palestinian struggle. Section 5. The ICC's role, a glimmer of hope for accountability. You know, in the pursuit of justice, the International Criminal Court, or ICC, plays such a crucial role. The ICC is an independent international court, and it investigates and prosecutes individuals accused of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and even the crime of aggression. The ICC's recent decision to open an investigation into alleged war crimes committed in Palestine is, well, a significant development. It really offers a glimmer of hope for accountability and justice for victims of the conflict. Now, while the ICC does face political pressure and, attempts to delegitimize its work, its investigations remain essential to ensuring that those responsible for atrocities are, in fact, held to account. The ICC's involvement sends a clear message: impunity for crimes under international law will simply not be tolerated. Section 6. Breaking the silence: why we must speak up for Palestine. Silence in the face of injustice is complicity. We have a moral obligation to break the silence and speak out against the injustices faced by Palestinians. Remaining silent is just not an option. For far too long, the Palestinian struggle has been pushed to the sidelines, dismissed as too complex or too controversial. But, the issues at stake here are fundamental: human rights, equality, and the right to self-determination. Speaking up for Palestine doesn't mean ignoring the complexities of the conflict or denying the legitimate concerns of Israelis. It means standing up for what is right, for justice, and for a peaceful resolution that recognizes the rights and aspirations of both Palestinians and Israelis. Section 7. The urgency of now taking action for a just peace. The time for action is now. The situation in Palestine is dire, and the consequences of inaction are severe. We simply cannot afford to wait any longer to demand justice and an end to the occupation. A just and lasting peace requires a fundamental shift in the status quo. It means ending the occupation, dismantling the system of apartheid, and recognizing the rights of Palestinian refugees to return to their homes. Now, this will not be easy. It's going to require sustained international pressure, a commitment to dialogue and diplomacy, and a willingness to challenge deeply entrenched power structures. Section 8. From awareness to action: how you can make a difference. Each one of us has a role to play in the fight for justice in Palestine. From raising awareness to taking direct action, there are so many ways to make a difference. Educate yourself and others about the history of the conflict and the realities of the occupation. Support organizations that are working on the ground to provide humanitarian aid and advocate for Palestinian rights. Contact your elected officials and urge them to support policies that promote a just and lasting peace. Boycott businesses and institutions complicit in the occupation. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger movement for justice. Section 9. Towards a future of justice, hope, and solidarity with Palestine. The path to justice in Palestine is long and arduous, but we must never lose sight of hope. Despite the challenges, Palestinians continue to resist, to persevere, and to dream of a future where their rights are respected and their dignity is upheld. Let us stand in solidarity with them. Let us amplify their voices, support their struggle, and work tirelessly for a future where justice prevails. The fight for Palestine is a fight for justice, for equality, and for a world where all people can live in freedom and dignity.